guys. This is Courtney, one half of the Brothers of Deconstruction.
And on the other half of the screen is Bruce, the second, more handsomer side half of the Brothers of Deconstruction.
I knew this was going to go left as soon as we started doing this.
Hey, you know who I am as a person.
This is very true. I shouldn't expect anything. So the reason why we're doing this special video, I guess you can say, is we were going to do like a little type of skit review for Netflix's The Punisher. It was really, really complicated, seeing as the distance and everything like that, and cameras dying, and
I really need to get on my shit with keeping my camera charged.
Yeah, I just leave my camera plugged in, so there's never a problem with me.
Well, really, because I charged it, and my thing was I'm going to start taking the battery out so the battery stays charged. It didn't happen.
But yeah, so basically we're just gonna have a discussion about the Punisher, about thoughts on it and things like that. So yeah, this is probably gonna be new. I just realized that the QuickTime player was still open, and you know how Skype opens up another window, and so that window was above your head for most of that beginning. But whatever, this is us playing around with this type of stuff for the first time, so deal with it.
If we can pull this off, there are going to be a lot more videos of us together in this format with, left, right, older, younger, however we're going to do this shit.
Yeah. This will probably be how joint reviews are done from here forward. Instead of just not doing joint reviews anymore.
Like August will be in the same vicinity, so.
And August is right around the corner. Yeah, so Netflix Punisher, my really, really quick thoughts just to kind of get it started. I really like the series. It's 13 episodes like all of the other Marvel Netflix shows, and this is probably the first one, at least to me, that doesn't seem like it's 13 episodes. Like all of the Netflix shows either start out really good or really slow in the first half, and then the opposite effect happens for the second half of the season. So it'll either start slow and then pick up, or start out really good and then end really slowly. Luke Cage and the Defenders had that problem. But at some point, but I was really, really invested in the story and in the episodes. And when it came, like so much so that before, I think I had just finished up episode 12. And by the way, spoilers, the series been out since the beginning of the second week of November. So if you haven't watched it, sorry. Like I was finishing up episode 12 when Frank and Billy were just about to go to the amusement park, and like the way that it was ending, and then like going, because I think they were in that in the hideout, and he had just killed whatever the guy's name was. I thought it was gonna end like that, and I was like, "Fuck, they're gonna end the series, but without him like getting to Billy." And then the next episode came on, I was like, "Huh." Shit, alright, cool, they're not ending it like this. But yeah, this is the first Netflix series that didn't seem long, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it, especially like a lot of the subtext with like how veterans go over there and fight for the country and then basically are abandoned once they come back. And they weren't super heavy-handed with it, to be honest. Like there was a subplot involving one, but it didn't seem like they were getting preachy with it, which is hilarious because they had like the typical like super conservative gun nut in the show. But yeah, that's getting into a whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, I like the show. I like the interactions between Frank and Micro. I like a bunch of the subplot stuff, and I liked how Jon Bernthal portrays Frank, because he does a really good job of playing an unhinged person that wants to do better. That's the best way I can put it. Like there's a switch that he turns on when he needs to like go shoot people, or when there's a scene of them at war, and he becomes really, really primal and animalistic, and it's like, Johnny, is there a discussion that we need to have? Like, to the point where I think he crosses one of those lines where it's like, is he really like this? Which I've heard he isn't, but yeah. But yeah, what did you think about it?
Okay, so before I jump into my review,
And really quick side note, if you guys hear worrying, whatever, I know I'm pronouncing that word wrong. The fans in my computer are kicking up. I guess I have a whole lot of stuff going on right now. So if you hear any like fans from the microphone, wherever it is in the laptop, that's probably what you're hearing. The fans are just kicking in the overdrive to kind of cool the hard drive down. It's a old laptop, but it does that from time to time. It tends to go away, but our voices and our audio are probably gonna cover up that noise anyway. But anyway, what are you saying?
All right, so before I jump into my review, what you were saying about how it didn't feel like it was 13 episodes,
yeah,
as opposed to the other Netflix shows. Like the other show that didn't feel like that to me was Jessica Jones, and that's because from start to finish, it was the same plot. Whereas with the other shows, it's like, hey, it's leading you toward here. All right, we got there. Now here comes the other plot, and it's like, it's just that's kind of thrown in there. Like it's always a backdrop, but then one of the back plots becomes the main plot, which is what I've noticed.
I can definitely see that. Now it's been a while since I've watched Jessica Jones, so I need to go back and actually watch it. But I'm sure at the end I'll agree with you. Just like off the tip of my tongue, though, it seemed like all the other shows. It seemed like Daredevil has that problem. Like I said, Luke Cage had that problem. Iron Fist had that problem. And I've enjoyed all of the shows, and it's hilarious. I know we're getting sidetracked a bit, but it's hilarious to see people. You said what?
That's how we review.
Yeah, that's true. It's hilarious to see people rank the Marvel Netflix shows, because I see Luke Cage at the top a lot, and I'm like, I didn't think Luke Cage was that great. I liked the first half of Luke Cage, but then it drags on, and then it starts getting a little too preachy for my taste.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, no, I would definitely put probably season. It's really a toss up between season 1 and season 2. People hate season 2 for throwing in too many stories. Jessica Jones is definitely next, though. And then it's probably Punisher, since we've seen it. The worst 2 for me are probably Luke Cage and the Defenders. I liked Iron Fist, but I completely understand why a whole lot of people didn't. I do wish that that'll be another video that we can do if there's really a discussion behind it. But my problems with Iron Fist have to do with like the action, and some of the story stuff, just a little bit. But Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and the Defenders are probably all like tied for the last spot. And they're really interchangeable depending on how you feel and depending on which ones you like go back and watch, and then you reorder and everything like that. But let's keep talking about the Punisher since.
All right. So, another note before I get to my review. My review, like, I can separate comic from other media, but I like to use the comic as the backdrop for why that doesn't work to me.
Yeah.
So,
you've come a long way with that, because I remember before you were like a straight up purist, like, no, this should have happened because that's the way that it was. It doesn't make any sense. But continue.
Okay, X-Men ruined me with that, but then Marvel Cinematic Universe was like, hey, this isn't going to be the comic. This is going to be an extension of the comics, another part of another universe. So it's not 616. It's so on and so forth. And I was like, all right, that makes sense. Okay, so I enjoyed this show. Some of the things, like the characterization John Bernthal as Frank Castle, like you could. I'm going to compare his performance to Ray Stevenson's in Punisher Warzone. Ray Stevenson was a great Punisher. Like when he had to go out and kill people, you believed that he was Frank Castle. But then when it came time for him to emote about the loss of his family, it wasn't there. John Bernthal did both. Like you saw the hurt in him when he was like, "My family's dead," and then when it turns out that the bigger plot was for him, like, "Oh, we're trying to kill you," but it was like, so it's my like you see the hurt in him, and that's just great acting. And then when it's like, okay, but I do have to kill these people, and you see it, and it's like, I'm a better person than this, but because of circumstances beyond my control, I can't be the person I want to be until I murder these people.
And that was really driven home with that when he went to that base, and like beforehand, him and Michael were talking, and they're like, there are other soldiers that do security on this base, or there are soldiers patrolling. And he was basically saying, well, they come back and they go and they serve their country. Like, am I supposed to kill a soldier because he's doing his job? What am I gonna like? I hope it doesn't have to come to that. And then when it came to that, he basically just like told the kid, look, I'm walking down this hallway. You're gonna do what you have to do. You're gonna have to shoot me in the back. And then he walks, and the kid is like, no, stop. And then he just knocks the kid out and then runs off. It was like, because he's a Marine, so he's military as well. And he really did not want to, because he understands, hey, this is his job. This is what he's doing. This is what he has to do. But I don't want to kill a fellow soldier just for doing their job, because the whole thing about the main thing that ties in his family dying and what it has to do with him as a soldier, that's basically what it was. Like, hey, I was doing a job that they made me do over there, and now all these people are getting, like, my family got killed because of it. But yeah, go on. I thought that was really driven home really well with that.
Yeah. Uh, Here's a couple of drawbacks but the first drawback is because of the comics, and so there was entirely he had too many anchors to prevent him from doing what he needed to do. So it's like, I'm going to go kill this guy. They're going to try to kill Karen. I got to go protect her, or I got to go kill this guy, or I can't remember the dude who lost his leg, who was holding the he was like, oh, now I got to go save him. And it was just like, I get you want to see the conflict in him, but it's just like, all right, that slowed the story down a little bit, because the whole hotel attack, the whole going back and forth, I was like, all right. So, it was like a Tarantino movie. You get the ending, and then they go back to explain everything. And I'm like, I get why you're doing this, but it's kind of throwing the pacing off to me.
Yeah,
whereas it should start, like, that's the thing, start to finish, and then the interviews afterward. And then the Micro and Frank relationship. So what I know about the Micro and Frank is Micro's family was killed just randomly like Frank's was. So he linked up with him and was like, I'm going to get all the intel. Like, I'm going to make you a more efficient killing machine to end all the useless killing. So you kill the scumbags so that they don't kill the innocent. So he got all the intel. It was like, all right, I scoped them out. And then it was like, you saw the process of research them for a week. We're going to see how their operation goes, and then we're going to attack them. Instead of that, it's I found out what you guys did to the CIA guy or some shit, and I sent the video out, and I got killed because of it, and then my family's in jeopardy because of it. So I found out that they also responsible for your family's death. So, and there wasn't enough research into him bringing them down. It felt to me like it all happened by mistake. Like, he found Bill Rawlings by mistake. He found C. Thomas Howell character. He just, hey, this is the guy who's responsible for some of the stuff. So he just killed him. And I was like, that. Then it been the throwaway that it was. But once again, all small gripes, still a great show. And in the beginning, like when he was like killing out the bikers and everything, it was like these are the people who killed my family. I wish they would have expounded upon that. Like the first episode, I say that should have been the first half of it, and then him and his civilian life as I forgot the character's name, Ray, whatever.
What his construction?
Yeah, when
it was
Ray something.
It's actually his comic. It's actually his name from the comic. That's what it said. Yeah. In that it's like Pete Castiglione.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, like with that one, that should have, instead of it being a big bulk of the episode, it should have been the second half of episode 1 and the beginning half of episode 2, and it shows that that's pushing him into being a Punisher. And I just want to see the whole investigating of the people he felt, he was told was responsible for his family, like the whole sniping a dude from Texas while he's in Mexico. That felt too throwaway for what the weight that it had on the series to me. But once again, love the show, great acting. The Madani subplot with her and Billy Russo was just great. That's one of the best subplots in a Marvel show that I've seen outside of Malcolm, giving all the information about Jessica to Kilgrave. Because that turn was fucking brilliant. But which you can see the emotion, you can see, Billy Russo is like getting attached, but he's trying not to. Then you see Madani like, this is the only escape that I have from the chaotic life that I have, and you see the dependency that they're having on each other. And then when it goes south, you see the weight of it, like just the collapse of the relationship. Yeah. And they can just gripes, and that's what's a small gripe to me.
Yeah, no, definitely. Which is why it's funny we were talking about it, and that's what spurred this video. We were talking about the gripes. I completely understand where you're coming from. I like their relationship. Again, I have, I think, Volume 1 of Punisher Max that I bought a couple of months ago. I haven't started reading it yet. So I don't have too much comic-based knowledge on the Punisher or Micro. Again, watching, I think it was Watch Mojo's video. That may or may not be. No, that's
Mother Russia. This is Volume 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's Mother Russia. That's a different volume. I think I have Volume 1, but I think it was Watch Mojo who was doing the list. They were doing the differences. It was either Watch Mojo or Looper, and they were doing the differences between doing the differences between Punisher, the comics, and the TV show, and surprisingly, I agree with a lot on their list, and that whole relationship between Micro and Frank, and the new characterization of Micro, how he still has his family, which gave him a happy ending to look forward to, and it just made things a whole lot more tragic to me, especially when it's like, oh, Frank was the target and his family got killed. That puts a lot more hurt behind his actions, because now it's like, wait, you mean I was the target and they got killed? And especially when later on in the season, when he's getting like, when Rawlings is like beating him like within an inch of his life, and he's just hallucinating, like sleeping with his wife and just talking to her and things like that. And it's like, he really misses his family. And he was a family man through and through. Even with them showing like that whole decision of his wife not wanting him to go back over to Afghanistan or go back overseas, and he's like, look, I'm not going back. Like, this is home. This is where I'm staying. Like, that's like you said, it's really good acting, because you saw not the struggle, but you saw him weighing and really thinking about, like, well, I mean, I kind of do want to go back over there, but this is home.
Like with that, I hope that they'll go more into it within the next season, because in Punisher Max, when they give more about Frank's history, the characterization is that the Punisher was always part of him. Mm-hmm. Like, just that killer instinct and the fact that he had to go out there and inflict pain. that was always a part of him. He just needed a just some way to channel it, and like when it show him in Vietnam, and it's just like this is who he is. Because one of the thing was the Valley Forge. The last story was Frank was the only person from his platoon to survive just a ridiculous ambush, attacking the Vietnamese who attacked the like I think something like 5,000 of them, and then like 40 men or however many was in his troop. Everybody's dead except Frank because it was like that incident put the switch in the Punisher. And that's when he became the Punisher. Yeah. But then it went back even further when I read Punisher Max Born. It's like, no, that wasn't the switch. The switch was always there. He just needed it. Just something like it wasn't fully on. It was like the dial was turned up a little, and then when his family got killed, turned all the way up. So if they can go back and show the conflict of him, was like, I'm doing some terrible things, but it's the only way for me to survive. And it was just like, yeah, I'm doing terrible things, but it's the only way for me to survive. Till it's, yeah, I'm doing terrible things, but it's because of who I am and what they did to me. Right. And that, I just hope that in season 2, they expand upon that. And they also, like one of Punisher Max little like subplots that they had was, in the Slavers, they made, the police went on a hunt for the Punisher because he attacked cops and played it up, and then you had a scene where he ran and then he attacked the cop. It was like he didn't really hurt him; he just got him out of the way so he can just steal the cop car, and then they can turn that into a big thing like the hunt for the Punisher. It's like, hey, he attacked the cop, and then they can do the whole charade of him just parading and everything. It's like, oh, look at how beat up he is because of his running with the Punisher. Yeah. Like, I love to see that little subplot.
No, I think the one of the good things going forward, since it's already been renewed for season 2, and at the end of season 1, he's basically in Curtis's VA group. He is like, look, I don't have a war to fight anymore, and to be honest, I'm scared. I think they're doing a good job. I think Jessica Jones was a really good example of them, and Daredevil too, of dealing with or talking about the psychology of the characters. And I think they're probably going to get more into that in season 2, especially if he's like, look, I don't have a war to fight anymore. Obviously, if they're making a season 2, they're going to give him a war to fight. So I think, all your sentiments we basically share. Like, it's still a really good show. I can easily see myself like rewatching this again. And I didn't even binge it all at one time. And you know what? That's probably why so many other shows seem so long, because I would binge them the day that they air.
I don't watch the Netflix shows like, oh, they're all up, let me watch them all. I'll do 2 episodes, take a day or 2 off, 2 episodes, take a day or 2 off. And that gives you a scope of how well the show moves. It's like, I can't sit through, I can't watch a network show and just be like, the 22 episodes, I will wait 22 weeks. I will wait till the season's over and watch through all of them.
Yeah.
Just because with 22 episodes, you will get a filler episode, and it will really play on how the story goes. And it's like, I don't remember what was happening before this filler. But with these shows, the way you put them out, every episode directly affects the episode. Like the episode before it affects it, and it affects the episode coming after it. Yeah. So I can, give it some breathing room between each episode that I watch. And that gives me a clearer way to review it. Like with Luke Cage, how you said, it felt a little long. It didn't feel long. Because once you got to the climax of the story, and it was like, all right, that's what you thought the climax was. And it was like, oh yeah, but we still have a little bit more left to tell you. And it was like, but that's not needed. It went to its natural conclusion.
Yeah.
And kept going.
Yeah. I think, with Punisher, I didn't binge it just because I never got around to it and work and everything like that. That's why I didn't binge it all in one day. Because I could have on like one of my off days, but what I did was that I watched like one or two episodes, and then I didn't get to it for like a week, and then what I was doing was that I would just watch it. Then I ended up watching like 3 or 4, maybe 5 episodes, taking a day, and then I finished the rest of the season because I watched a big chunk of it in one day, like 6 episodes or something like that. And I was like, oh no, I got to finish this again. And then I just finished it off like the very next day. Like I watched some early in the day, and then I watched some later on that night and finished it. But yeah, I think that helped out a little bit more. And it kept me engrossed because I wasn't, marathoning it. And it was like, hey, I'm on, this episode, but I'm really, really invested. So I'm just going to let the next episode play. And then, if I was tired, I was like, okay, I'm going to stop it here. I'm on episode 7 or something like that. I'm going to go to sleep, wake up tomorrow, and then I'll continue from there. And then, it was like, oh man, this is getting good. And then you forget that you have 6 episodes left. And then you just watch them. So that's how it was, and that's how engrossing it was. I don't know if that'll help the other Netflix series. They may or may not. But yeah, hold on really, really quickly. Go on and give your thoughts. Give some more thoughts if you want. For
okay, I was just going to pose a question, which was, I'll go first to let you give you an idea of the question that I was going to pose. But
I need to open up the blinds a little bit more. It is getting dark on this side of the country. So, all right, there we go.
What you know about the Punisher, plus what you've seen on the show, where would you like the character to go? Not more of the story, because the story is, you can go anywhere with a Punisher story, but where would you like to see, from a Punisher standpoint, the character to go for season 2?
And what I know of the Punisher and basically going on.
Establishing the series. Would Daredevil season 2, the Punisher, where would you like to see, with what you know from the Punisher and the Marvel Netflix universe or the MCU, where would you like to see the character go within season 2?
Me personally, I think one of the most natural things to do is, he's done fighting for revenge because of his family. So at least to me, I think the most natural thing that they can do was to now just send him out into the streets or after, crime mob bosses, things like that, just to fight for like the innocent. That's where I think it's probably going to go, and that's where I would like to see them go, because now we've got it out of the way. Hey, I'm going after the mobsters that killed my family. Hey, I did that. Oh, now it's this organization that was behind that because they were going after me. Let me take care of them. And now it's like, oh, I don't have a war to fight. No, you have a war to fight because you're really a good person that hates things happening to innocent people. So I think he's probably going to end. I don't know what's going to set him on that road in season 2. It's going to get him back into it. But I definitely think that they're probably going to go the way of, oh, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to defend the innocent. Mm-hmm. I think that's where they're going to go, and that's where I would like them to go.
Now, with me, we already know we have Jigsaw, and I don't think you wrote Jigsaw out right now. You keep Jigsaw about season 3, give Billy, to give him enough time where he's not in the back of your head. Jigsaw, okay.
That ending, like him beating the shit out of Billy and like smashing his face into the mirror, that was real. Like, honestly, that was kind of hard to sit through because how brutal it was, and like he kept like throwing his face, like when he like just hit, like threw his face into the mirror and then just like slowly pulled it down. I was like, I know from like a physics standpoint that there's probably no glass. I mean, it did crack, but there probably isn't like a ton of glass like actually shredding his face, but like the sound design and like everything, I was like, oh no, he's gonna look like Two-Face after this. Jesus Christ. That was intense. I really like that
Yeah.
scene.
Now, like, well, so they put that in the back burner,
Yeah.
till he's literally like you hit out season 2, so no one's really thinking about him anymore. But I'd say something that he could have prevented, like if he was still doing, like, say the mob that he killed when they were, trying to go after, like, so when the construction workers like robbed the poker game and whatnot, and all
Yeah.
the monsters that he killed, say the families that they belonged to came back and then they started killing people trying to figure out what happened. It was like, well, I'm responsible for that. So that sets him up. It was like, if I would have taken out that entire family, like just kept on doing what I'm doing, then all these people wouldn't be dead because of it. So make it seem like he's responsible, and it was like, I can't stop punishing the wicked.
Right.
Like, these people, they needs to be controlled so that no one else feels what I feel. Like, these people, they have families that are dead now because I could have prevented it. So put him in that mindset to keep him being the Punisher instead of I fought all of my wars. It's like, it's war. War doesn't stop just because I want it to.
Right. And I think that's probably going to be one way that they do it in season 2, where it's like, look, no, they're like, he doesn't have a war to fight, but you do. Like, it doesn't stop just because you want it to end. Like, especially when you're a vigilante, you're always going to find something to be a vigilante for. That's just the way that the world is. But yeah, I can definitely see them heading in that direction as far as like, oh, this is like these mob families are now coming after people trying to figure out what happened to them. And then he's like, well, shit, if I would have just, kept going, this wouldn't be a thing. So yeah, I like that too. But I definitely think that'll be a good direction to head in. You got anything else or?
Like previous. Here's a story why Courtney constantly introduces us as the real brothers.
Let me see if there's a way for me to like enlarge your photo and give you all of this screen time, because there has to be a way for me to.
Was Googling the channel because I forgot what I was doing. It wasn't on something that is readily available to me where I can just pull it up on my phone. And it was like, hey, so I Googled the channel and it was like Brothers of Deconstruction. There was a YouTube video. There's like 2 of them, and they're like 2 hours long. And I'm like, we don't have any videos that are 2 hours long. So I click it, and it turns out to be a wrestling podcast, and which is where we got our names, the Brothers of Deconstruction, from the Brothers of Destruction, Kane and the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Which we've said in the video before.
Yeah.
So they're actually brothers as well, and they talk about wrestling. And the logical thing was the Brothers of Deconstruction. Now, we don't have a copyright on the name.
We don't.
But if you look at our first video being like 4 years old, and their first video being 2 years old, we're the real Brothers of Deconstruction. It's archived that we had this up and running way before they decided to. Like, they only have 2 episodes of their podcast, but they haven't uploaded anything, so it's really nothing to get worried about. But so you know, the true Brothers of Deconstruction, when we finally start making merch and whatnot.
Yeah. And I mean, if they really feel some type of way about it, they can run my fade. And plus, this year is going to be the year that I try to start doing a little bit more consistent uploading for the channel, as well as promotion. As far as like Twitter and making T-shirts and this and that. So yeah, but that's the story behind that intro for that one video. He he never uploaded. He never did his part to explain it in his next video that he uploaded right after mine. So this is him explaining it.
But likewise, I'm probably going to be introducing a series soon where I just go through old VHSs that I own and reviewing the movies.
VHSs, yes, yes, people, VHSs. To all 15 of you that follow us, VHSs.
Oh, I'll even do because
Jesus Christ.
We've actually had a discussion on this, and this falls in line with our fandom of being Power Ranger fans. I am going to try to sit through the Mystic Knights of Tir-Na-Nog VHS again. It was a chore, but I want to review it. So, like, God. So, I'll sit through that travesty and bring a review. My next review is my next video I upload will be my review of Mystic Knights of Tir-Na-Nog.
Okay. This video has gone on way too long, but because it's a screen recording, there probably isn't going to be much editing that gets done. It's probably just going to be a straight upload, besides cutting off a bit at the beginning. My next video is probably going to be I've been meaning to do like super late review series of movies that have come out recently, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago that I'm just now reviewing. I already did one with Amazing Spider-Man 2. Anyway, but I think my next review is probably going to be a super late review of Thor Ragnarok. And most of my reviews always turn into discussions. And I need to work on shortening the videos themselves. But probably going to be a super late review on Thor Ragnarok. I have seen Justice League. Well, I already did a Justice League review. Funnily enough, I did a Justice League review before I did a Thor Ragnarok review. I might do The Last Jedi review. I thought the movie was okay. I don't really think, I'm not like super into Star Wars and everything like that, but I might do like a multiple movie review, because I saw Jumanji one day and then I saw The Last Jedi the very next day, and I had more fun in the theater with Jumanji than The Last Jedi, which is saying something, which is hilarious because apparently Jumanji has passed The Last Jedi in the box office. And what I saw this morning, Jumanji is at 500 million worldwide already, which is very, very impressive, because I can honestly say I was not expecting that. But yeah, so I might do like a 2-movie review, really, really quickly. But yeah, my next video will probably be a super late review of Thor Ragnarok. I just saw it again Saturday night. Today is Monday. Yeah, so.
And then the next collaborative video will be in the line of our Power Rangers countdown. So we're probably going to roll out our 5 worst Rangers list.
And that's going to be some heavy editing, I know, because he's probably going to super cut like footage and things like that in it. So yeah. But yeah, that'll be our next collab video. So yeah, like I said, we're probably going to start doing more promotion and more pubbing for the channel. So hopefully we start gaining more followers. We don't have a Patreon account. We're doing this as a hobby. When we started it, we weren't looking to get paid because we knew it was
our channel's not monetized.
Yeah, and we probably knew that it was going to be really, really hard to actually start gaining enough of a following in order to monetize the videos. But YouTube is demonetizing everybody anyway, so we don't have a Patreon. We're probably not going to open up one. Yeah, so we're probably just
going to share it. That's pretty much all the promotion that we want you to do from us. Like, You can like, subscribe if you want to. It's not really that important to us. We're just killing time and putting it out there for you guys.
Yeah. We're just one of the many hundreds, maybe even thousands of people who get on YouTube and talk about their opinions on all things nerd related and shit like that. Yeah, so those are going to be some of the next videos that we do. Yeah, I guess we are done with this review of The Punisher. Go ahead and check out some of the other videos and everything like that. Yeah, so we'll catch up with you guys later. And this was actually, we'll probably start doing a whole lot more videos like this. They may or may not be reviews. They might be other things as well. We might even still try to do some skits and everything like that. I plan on writing more skits for the channel anyway. But yeah, so all right, go ahead and check out our other videos, guys, and we will talk to you guys later. And you can probably see me like getting ready to press the stop button and everything too. I don't really care. So